right here. And I'll let you use
do
your
this.
discretion on.
Oh, well, put it all on, right?
Yeah, go
Okay.
for it.
Well, I mean, like you said, if it's going to be disguised a little bit,
It
and we're
is
getting the vegetables in there,
disguised.
then do it.
It'll turn a nice toasty color.
And look pretty too, huh?
And they won't even know it's there.
All right. Okay, we're good.
Okay, and so the other vegetables that we have here, and I'm just gonna let you do it to your taste. We have some spinach.
You know, this would be an art project too. This will be fun with children.
It is fun. You're
Yeah,
right.
let
More colorful.
Yeah.
On your plate, and you know, let them make designs. Let them.
Oh, I can see a smiley face coming.
That's right. Their initials.
Now we can start with a smiley face, like eyes. Okay.
I'll give you that.
How's that?
We
See?
should have made it fun. I know. Well, hang on a minute. I'm gonna get some
No.
eyebrows.
No. Yeah. That's only momentary.
I got some mushrooms here that we're gonna add to. Now, is this pizza good looking or what?
I'm impressed.
Okay, and then we're gonna add some onions. Sprinkle those on there. I tend to have a hard time hitting the target here.
Mhm.
How long have you been a tour guide with the Danville Historical
Well,
Society?
the tour, the Secrets Inside on Main Street, that started about 4 years ago, and since that time, we have had over 850 people to take the tour
Goodness gracious.
from 25 different states and 12 different countries.
Wow.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, that's great exposure.
It is. A lot of people coming to Danville, and they want to know about Danville. They want to know its history, and they want to get their exercise too.
Yes.
And so
It's the best of both worlds.
and of course the other tour on Holbrook Street, that just started this year, so that's brand new.
Oh, okay. Oh.
And that can also be a self-guided tour. The Visitor Center, they have the booklets,
Yes.
as well as the Danville Museum of Fine Arts and History. They have the
Okay.
booklets. If for some reason you want to take the tour and it doesn't fit into the schedule of when we're giving the tours, you can do it yourself.
Oh,
the one
that's
on
great.
Holbrook.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and actually there is a self-guided tour for Main Street too. So you can either do it on your own or do it with a group
Well,
with a
and
guide.
CG and I have seen people walking around with the
Yes,
flyers,
yes.
you know, and they're trying to find the sites, and it's very well laid out, and it's great for tourism in our area.
Yes, it is.
While we were talking, I added some chopped onions and chopped green peppers. And so what we're going to do now is just go ahead and top. This is 2 tablespoons of grated Parmesan cheese. This is a great cheese. It adds a lot of flavor, and it is guilt-free. So you can just...
This makes up for that big slice of chocolate cake you're going to eat later. Is that what you're telling me?
Oh, exactly. Speaking of what we're eating later, we have a really neat group of ladies that we work with at Lighten Up for Life. Cindy Jones is the head of that group of ladies, and she does an excellent job getting them fit and getting them eating healthy. And so we've worked with them for 3 years, and they're going to join us on the tour today.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so
What
we're
fun.
super excited. They are thrilled to be with you and then eating
that's
with
great.
us. So we're going to serve this fantastic breakfast pizza
Excellent.
to the ladies. And so here is our pizza. What
Looks
do you think?
good. I think you've done a great job of making what I liked, making it even better, so thank you.
Well, do you approve then?
I approve, but
Okay.
only after you give me a piece to taste. I think I have to taste it.
Okay, well, I tell you what, I am actually going to turn you loose with CG.
Okay.
And I think I heard her come through the door just a minute ago. We're going to bake our breakfast pizza for 25 minutes at 350.
Now, wait a minute. Do I have to finish the tour in
And-
25 minutes, too?
Oh, no. We'll take our time. You can see I have a lot to clean up here.
Okay.
And, you know, again, we are at God's Storehouse. This is a kitchen that's provided by the Community Foundation for the Dan River region. And they have, is this fantastic?
wonderful.
Have you been before?
Yes. Well, I toured it before.
Okay,
Yes.
and so we've kind of adopted this as our home kitchen,
That's
actually,
nice.
and it's good to be back. It's been a couple months since we've been in here, so I'll clean it all up.
Oh, good. I like that part.
And yeah, you don't have to clean up, and I'll just get to the temple, which
Okay.
is where we're meeting, and that's
Right.
actually a stop on our tour as well, right?
Well, that's if you're taking the Secrets Inside tour. Today we're taking on Main
Okay.
Street, but today we're taking the Holbrook Street tour. But it's
Excellent.
only a block away. So yes,
Yes,
we
you're right.
will be
Everything's
there.
condensed.
We will follow the wonderful fragrance of this baking.
Okay, well, we'll have it out ready for you.
Okay,
And we've got
thank
a
you.
nice little spritzer and some fruit to pair with it. So we have a great balanced breakfast brunch. And hopefully the
Great.
ladies will enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joyce.
Okay.
We're here, we're going to talk about the tour today. I got you out of the kitchen with Stephanie because, you know, I am not a cook. I love the physical activity component. And, you know, we're here because we know that walking is a great exercise. We know that the historical tours does a lot of walking. But before we get into the exercise, can you tell me a little bit about the historical tours that you do here in Danville?
Sure. I do 2 guided tours. One is called The Secrets Inside, and that's on Main Street's Millionaires Row. We start at the Danville Museum of Fine Arts and History, and we walk down to Jefferson Street, then back up on the other side of Main Street to Broad Street. And this tour focuses on the houses, the residents, the former residents. We don't talk about the current ones.
Okay.
Just teasing. The former residents, the people who built their fortunes on tobacco and textiles, and then they built these mansions. That's called The Secrets Inside, because for each place that we stop, I tell a secret or little known information either about the house itself or the former residents. The other tour is on Holbrook Street.
Okay.
It's in the Holbrook-Ross Historic District. This is where the professional African-American community lived from the early 1900s up until the late 1960s.
I wanted to mention that the very first school for freed blacks was started by the Quakers in Danville, out on Schoolhouse Hill, which is where Dan's Hill is now. Isn't that interesting? Now look here, this is the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority House. This is the former residence of Warden and Howard Yancey, and it is now their sorority house. This house was listed in the Negro Motorist Green Book. The book had a green cover, so it was called the Green Book. This was a tourist home, so that if you're a traveling African American, you cannot stay in the hotels and motels, right, where the white people stay. So you look up on this Green Book to see where, if you're coming to Danville, if you're just passing through, where can I spend the night? This house would have been listed in the Green Book, and you would know that you were welcome to come here and stay. Now, the family donated it to the AKA sorority, and that's an international service organization that was founded in 1908. It's the oldest Greek-lettered organization established by African-American college-educated women, and they are very active in the community today.
And it starts at the corner of Ross and Holbrook, where that little white church is, goes all the way down to where today it's called the Westmoreland Senior Apartments, but it used to be Westmoreland School, and then we come back up Holbrook Street. So each tour takes, depending on how fast you walk, like the Holbrook Street tour would take about an hour. The Main Street tour usually takes about an hour and a half. If we go inside one of the buildings, it might take up to 2 hours. So it's a good, you're right. It's not only a good way to get exercise, but you can learn a little of history about the town and just have a good time.
Okay, so the tour that we're going on today is the one that's on
Holbrook Street.
Holbrook and Ross Street, right?
Correct.
And you see you have secrets that you learn about when you're doing this historical tour. So can you give us some insight to what those secrets are?
Okay, now the secrets and that's on the Main Street tour.
Okay.
The Holbrook Street tour is actually called There Is a Story Here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because, every town has its stories about its past. Every neighborhood has its stories. And so there are about 27 stops on Holbrook Street.
Okay.
And at each stop, I will tell you a story about the person who lived there, or maybe about the building. For example, I love the fact that one of the buildings used to have a restaurant in the basement. It was called Pringle's Blue Room. I'm assuming it was painted blue at one time. This was back when the African American community was not allowed to eat in the white restaurants, and so they had their own little restaurant here. And the owners lived, Mr. and Mrs. Pringle lived upstairs. She was the manager of the restaurant downstairs.
Oh, wow.
So there are lots of little buildings on Holbrook Street that have a history and have a story to tell. So it's called There's a Story Here.
Wow, that sounds very interesting. I can't wait till we go on our tour, historical tour, on Ross and Holbrook, because, it's so much history here in Danville. It's right under our nose, and we don't even know.
Yes.
So can you tell people how can they get involved? If they're interested in taking one of these tours, how can they come and get in contact with you?
The guided tours are available every day of the year except major holidays like Christmas, and we have booklets like this and rack cards out at the Visitor Center, or say at the Danville Museum of Fine Arts and History. That's at 975 Main Street. And my phone number is on here because I'm the guide.
Okay.
But it's 770-1974. But if you forget that number, you can either get it off of the rack cards that you can find out at the Visitor Center, or we have the Danville Historical Society has a website. It's called danvillehistory.org.
Okay, that sounds so interesting.
You just call and make a reservation. It has to be done in advance, and especially for the one on Main Street, because a lot of times we try to go inside one of the mansions.
Oh, awesome.
Well, and they're private residences, and these people have lives.
Yes.
They don't sit around waiting for my phone call, so we have to make sure somebody's home.
Okay.
And it's $6 is the charge for both tours.
Okay, great.
Oh, but if you're at 12 or under, it's free. So there.
Oh, there you have it. So the kids can come, the entire family can come.
Yes.
Okay, so it's open to everyone.
Yes, it is.
All right, great.
Right now, we're looking at 206. This is the residence of Irvin and Marie Taylor, or it used to be their residence. Mr. Taylor was born in 1879, and he was a principal in the city and the county from 1905 to 1942. In 1953, they built Taylor School on Piney Forest Road, and it was named in his honor. And that's the one that the government closed this year, right?
Right. Yeah.
There you go.
So the great thing I like about this is that it does allow you to exercise. Like we were saying before, I mean, you get to learn some history and you get to walk. And we're walking, and I think as we do this tour, as we walk, we won't even over exercise.
Oh, no,
because
it's
we're so
so easy.
focused on the history that we're learning. I think we'll be in so much awe and amazement that, we'll forget that we're even walking. So say you said the tour is what, 60 minutes? Like
The
an
one on
hour?
Holbrook Street is usually an hour. The main street might be 90 minutes, or by the time you get back to the car, and if we go inside one of the residences, it might be 2 hours. So anywhere between 1 hour, 2 hours.
Another tobacco leaf. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can step on it. It's all right. Now, I want you to get a feeling for, as we're walking down the street, this was pretty much a self-contained community. Like I said, from the early 1900s up until the late 1960s, you've got the only black school in town at the end of the street. And throughout this neighborhood here, these blocks, you've got churches, you've got the doctors, the lawyers, the dentist, the beautician. You're going to have a house down a little bit further that's kind of like the community center in someone's basement. You're going to have a restaurant and a hotel. You're going to see all that. It's just, and plus you can have the public library. As you know, that the African Americans weren't allowed to use the library that was at the Sutherland Mansion, and so the branch was down here. So you're going to be seeing all of that today. But right now, look at this church. This is Calvary Baptist Church. It was built in 1895. And many prominent African Americans worshipped here. Camilla Williams, I'm sure you're familiar with that name, the operatic soprano. She was the first African American to sing with a major American opera company. She died just last year. Well, she sang in the choir here. Yeah, isn't that something? In fact, Paula tells me that she remembers hearing her sing here. This is Paula's church. She starred several times on the Amos and Andy TV show in 1951. She worshipped here. She also wrote the words to the lyrics for the Langston High School alma mater song. So.
Okay, Joyce, for those who want to schedule a historical tour with you, how can they get in contact with you again?
There are 3 ways. You can visit the Danville Historical Society's website at danvillehistory.org. Call the Visitor Center and ask for one of these, either the rack card or the booklet. Or just ask them for my phone number, which is 434-770-1974.